She comes in visions, draped in beauty and silence, her eyes reflecting oceans of knowledge. Some say she offers fortune, others warn of her price. She is Mami Wata, the name that flows across languages and coastlines, whispered in songs painted on temple walls, and remembered in dreams. But who is she really? And why does her presence linger so powerfully in the minds of millions across the African continent and its diaspora, across riverbanks, coastlines, and quiet lagoons? Stories of Mami Wata have echoed for centuries. She is described as a spirit of water, graceful, mysterious, and commanding. In one place, she appears with long, flowing hair and skin that glows like moonlight on the sea. In another, she is part woman, part serpent, holding a mirror and coiled by a sacred snake. Though her form may shift, her essence remains the same, powerful, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore. But Mami Wata is not just a figure of beauty or fear. She is a symbol of the seen and unseen, the spiritual and the physical, the real and the imagined. Her name carries meanings that cross borders and belief systems. She can represent wealth, health, healing, or desire. Yet she also holds the power to disturb, to unsettle, to remind us that the world beneath the surface is as real as the one we walk each day. Why does she appear across so many cultures, from Nigeria to Ghana, Benin to Congo, and even into the Caribbean and the Americas? Is she a single spirit or many? How did her image travel across oceans? And what truths hide behind the myths? These are the questions that scholars, believers, and storytellers continue to explore. The fascination with Mami Wata isn't just about folklore, it's about what she reveals to us about history, identity, and the human connection to water, power, and transformation. This is not just a story about a spirit. It's a journey into the heart of African thought, where mythology and memory flow like rivers. In this video, we'll explore the layers of Mami Wata's identity, her origins, her meanings, her roles, and why she remains one of the most compelling spiritual figures in African and global tradition. Prepare to look deeper and listen closely. The waters still speak, and they're telling her story. Across the continent of Africa, especially in regions near rivers, lakes, and coastlines, there are long-standing traditions that speak of powerful water spirits, figures that are closely connected to nature, community life, and the unseen forces believed to influence everyday existence. Among these, the figure, often referred to today as Mami Wata, holds a special place in cultural memory. The name Mami Wata is widely known in several African countries, particularly in West and Central Africa. While the specific term gained popularity in more recent history, the ideas it represents go back much further. Many communities have spoken for generations about water spirits associated with beauty, wisdom, and mystery, beings often described as protectors of water or symbols of personal transformation and reflection. Though Mami Wata's name may vary across languages and regions, her connection to water and her symbolic role as a powerful spiritual presence remain consistent. In some areas, these spirits are linked to particular rivers or natural locations considered sacred. In others, they are remembered through local storytelling, visual art, music, and seasonal observances that connect people with the environment and ancestral values. Her widespread presence across different regions is often credited to the natural movement of people and stories over time. As communities traveled, traded, and interacted, they shared cultural knowledge that shaped how water spirits like Mami Wata were understood and portrayed. These exchanges contributed to a shared familiarity that extended across regions, while still respecting local uniqueness and interpretation, rather than a fixed historical figure. Mami Wata represents a living idea, one that continues to evolve through oral history, cultural creativity, and community memory. Her story is shaped by geography, tradition, and time, and like water itself, she adapts while keeping her essence. In many ways, understanding her origins means understanding how people relate to water as a source of life, mystery, and reflection. Throughout the many traditions that reference her, Mami Wata is often described using images that are vivid, graceful, and symbolic. These portrayals are not uniform across regions, but certain patterns appear consistently. She is a figure of elegance, mystery, and calm strength. Her appearance, like her meaning, speaks through metaphor, blending beauty with spiritual depth. In many artistic representations, Mami Wata is shown as a radiant woman, often adorned with jewelry or clothing that reflects water's shimmering qualities. Her features are carefully detailed, expressing both serenity and presence. This visual language is not about defining a physical form, but about expressing ideas, beauty that commands respect, mystery that invites reflection, and calm that holds unseen power. Among the most recognized symbols associated with Mami Wata are mirrors, snakes, and water itself. The mirror is often seen as a tool of reflection, not only for appearance but also for truth and self-awareness. The presence of a mirror suggests the importance of looking inward, of understanding the spiritual self as deeply as the physical. Snakes, when depicted, are typically shown as coiled around her or resting nearby. In many African traditions, snakes are not seen as threatening, but as wise and alert guardians of hidden knowledge, protectors of sacred spaces. When linked with Mami Wata, the snake becomes a symbol of transformation, resilience, and intuition. Water, naturally, is her most central symbol. Whether oceans, rivers, or lakes, these environments are seen as her domain, spaces of renewal, fluidity, and depth. Her connection to water reinforces themes of emotional balance, spiritual clarity, and the rhythm of life. Water is also a boundary between worlds, the visible and the unseen, and Mami Wata is often imagined as moving between both with ease. It's important to understand that these symbols are not fixed rules, but cultural expressions that vary across communities. Each interpretation adds a layer to her story, reflecting the values and experiences of those who hold her in reverence. Through these symbols, Mami Wata remains not just an image but a presence, one that continues to inspire art, dance, storytelling, and quiet reflection across generations. Mami Wata's presence is layered. She is not one thing but many. In traditions across regions, she is known for embodying duality, nurturing and powerful, serene and unpredictable, distant yet deeply personal. This balance of opposites is part of what makes her both intriguing and meaningful to those who seek her. She is neither bound by a single role nor defined by one mood. She reflects the complexity of life itself. In some traditions, Mami Wata is seen as a bringer of abundance. Individuals who encounter her in dreams or meditative states often describe feelings of peace, beauty, and spiritual connection. These moments are said to mark a turning point, a shift toward healing, clarity, or even prosperity. Her presence, gentle yet commanding, is interpreted as a spiritual affirmation or a call toward deeper purpose. At the same time, Mami Wata is also remembered as a guardian of respect and responsibility. Stories often highlight her strong connection to personal integrity and emotional balance. Those who disregard boundaries, take without gratitude, or act without mindfulness may experience disconnection or confusion in her presence, not as punishment, but as a quiet reminder of the values she reflects: harmony, sincerity, and accountability. This balance of reward and restraint is part of what gives Mami Wata such depth. She is not a figure to fear, but one to respect, a presence that asks for alignment, intention, and awareness. In many stories, those who approach her with reverence are guided, supported, or transformed. Those who ignore the deeper meaning of her presence may miss what she offers entirely. Her reputation, therefore, is not based on extremes but on depth. She is understood not only as a spirit of beauty and power, but also as a mirror to the inner world. Through her, individuals explore themes of identity, emotion, intuition, and connection. She challenges people to reflect not only on what they receive, but on how they live, making her one of the most captivating and spiritually complex figures in African-inspired traditions. when the drums begin to beat softly in the distance and the scent of incense blends with the river breeze, something ancient awakens. It's not just a ceremony, it's a conversation with the unseen. Invoking Mami Wata is never casual, it is done with intention, with beauty, and above all, with respect. Teaser moments are not about spectacle, they are about alignment, about entering a spiritual space where water listens and energy responds. In many communities, offerings are made at riverbanks, lakesides, or dedicated spaces that honor her symbolism. Items that glisten and reflect, mirrors, combs, shells, or finely crafted jewelry, are carefully laid out on white cloths or placed in gently moving water. The colors, red and white, often associated with balance and purity, appear in cloths, beads, and decorations. Every item has meaning, every movement is deliberate. Music plays a powerful role in these acts of devotion. Melodies rise from traditional instruments, weaving through the air like waves, sometimes slow and graceful, other times fast and ecstatic. Dancers, dressed in flowing fabrics, move in ways that mirror water's rhythm, bending, swaying, rising, falling. The atmosphere becomes electric. It is in this charged stillness that some say Mami Wata makes herself felt, not seen with eyes, but known within. Water itself is central to these practices. It is not only her domain, it is the bridge between spirit and self. Ritual bathing, quiet reflection by a flowing stream, or silent prayer as waves crash nearby, all are ways to seek connection, clarity, or guidance. Some approach her with gratitude, others with requests for healing, clarity, or personal transformation. But in every case, the approach is rooted in humility. Spiritual leaders, particularly women known for their insight and connection, often serve as intermediaries, helping to interpret signs, guide rituals, and protect the sacred flow of tradition. These individuals carry generations of knowledge, passed down through careful teaching and deep listening. In their presence, the rituals become even more than symbolic. They become living bridges between the world we see and the spirit that watches quietly from the water's edge. As rivers flow into oceans and waves touch distant shores, so too has the presence of Mami Wata moved beyond her origins. Through centuries of migration, trade, and historical movement, her image, essence, and energy have crossed borders, transforming and adapting while remaining rooted in cultural memory. She is one of the few spiritual figures whose name and spirit echo not just across Africa, but across the world and the Caribbean. Echoes of Mami Wata appear under different names and forms, woven into cultural traditions shaped by African ancestry. Elements of her symbolism, water, mirrors, dance, serpents, and beauty reappear in festivals, music, and spiritual ceremonies that celebrate heritage and resilience. Whether as a sea goddess, guardian spirit, or source of inspiration, her image flows through island cultures with unmistakable grace. In parts of South America, particularly in Brazil and Suriname, spiritual systems that blend African, indigenous, and European influences also carry traces of her legacy. Here too, the reverence for water spirits continues, not always with the name Mami Wata, but through stories, rituals, and artistic expressions that honor the sacredness of water and the mysteries it holds. Even in North America, particularly within communities connected to African heritage, the idea of powerful feminine water spirit surfaces in art, literature, and modern spirituality. In recent years, creative works, from paintings to poetry to film, have reimagined Mami Wata in bold new ways. She's appeared in murals, documentaries, and digital art, her image shifting yet always magnetic. What makes Mami Wata's journey so unique is her adaptability. She does not resist transformation. She flows with it. In every culture she touches, she reflects the values, struggles, and hopes of the people, always staying connected to her essence, a reminder of beauty, balance, and the unseen forces that shape our lives. Whether she appears as a goddess, a symbol, or an ancestral presence, Mami Wata's Spirit continues to inspire across oceans. Her global presence is not just a matter of geography, it's a testament to the resilience of culture, the strength of storytelling, and the enduring connection between people and water. She is not bound by place. She moves where the soul remembers. She moves in silence and song, in rivers that never run dry, in dreams that feel more real than waking life. Mami Wata is not just a spirit, she is a rhythm, a call, a whisper from beneath the surface of the world. Long after her name is spoken, the presence remains felt in the wind over water, in the sparkle of light on waves, in the quiet pull of intuition that cannot be explained. We have journeyed through her story, across lands and oceans, myths and memories. We've seen how she is honored, how she is remembered, and how she continues to transform through time and space. She is not bound to one name, one face, or one path. Mami Wata flows where meaning lives, in culture, in art, in the spaces between what is known and what is felt. What draws people to her? Maybe it's her beauty, magnetic, unshakable, unforgettable. Or maybe it's her message, that power can be graceful, that wisdom can be mysterious, and that true connection lies not in control, but in surrender. She reminds us that water does not ask permission. It carves its way through mountains quietly, relentlessly, and beautifully. Her mystery is not meant to be solved, it's meant to be respected. Mami Wata doesn't demand understanding. She invites presence, to stand before water, uncertain but open, to look inward and listen. To ask the questions we've been too busy to ask. What am I drawn to? What have I ignored? What am I afraid to face beneath my own surface? As long as there are rivers, dreams, and songs, she will be there, watching, waiting, whispering. And so we end where we began, not with a conclusion, but with a current, a reminder that the story is still unfolding, that the waters still speak. If you felt something stir during this journey, you're not alone. Share this with someone who should hear it. Subscribe for more untold stories and hidden histories. And never forget, the spirit flows where the heart is willing to follow.